with NBC's Chris Simms on day 2 of Radio Row here in downtown San Francisco. I feel like the energy just amps up each and every single day.
It
it's kind of crazy.
Does. It definitely. Monday's definitely the calm before the storm. Right, I think it's even calmer than it used to be in years past. Today, definitely, as we gotten here closer to noon, it's like, you can start to feel the buzz. And then Wednesday and Thursday are usually crazy, but it's all exciting and fun, and I'm glad to be here.
Definitely, and we're at the biggest stage of the NFL, Super Bowl week.
Right.
Now, all Niners fans want to know, it's the biggest question for them, for the Niners to be at this stage, what do they need to do? What are some of the biggest areas that they need to address come this offseason to make it even deeper in the postseason?
Well, I think, you're close, obviously. We know that. The team's got just about everything you want. And you just think about what they would have been this year if they could have just stayed healthy. Yeah. So that's the first thing. But I don't think I look at the offensive side of the ball, if you just had to get into it and go, do the 49ers need another big-time playmaker on that side of the ball? Yeah, definitely. We know, I think receiver or somebody of that nature. Christian McCaffrey's still awesome, but probably starting the downslope of his career a little bit there. The defense, as we know, has got some young talent coming up the pipelines. I don't know if I look at anything as desperate over there on that side of the ball. I would say maybe another offensive lineman or so to help out that group, and then an offensive playmaker, and I wouldn't be shocked if we were sitting here next year and the 49ers were in L.A.
I mean, that's always what we want to hear.
Right, we know you 49er fans, you.
That's right. This was Brock Purdy's contract extension year.
Right.
And what a year for him with all the ups and downs. He did miss a few games due to injury, but I want to hear your thoughts on his performance, his year 4, and just his growth as a quarterback and how he leads this team.
Hey, he continues to go this way. I think that's the big thing, right? And I thought it was a big bounce back year after last year where I feel like he maybe, I don't want to say he didn't play bad. He just lost his way and didn't play maybe as good and what I always say surgical as maybe the years before. He's on a spot right now where he's really finding a nice blend of I can execute the offense and just destroy you with good decisions and accurate passes, but then also being able to do like backyard football. And wait, Kyle's play didn't work out here, or I got a little pressure and now I got to get outside the pocket and make something happen and do that. That to me is really where it's come together. Like the first few years I'd go, all he does is the system stuff. And then last year I felt like he got a little bit into, wow, he's trying too hard to play backyard football. This year he kind of combined both. And I think when he does that, he can be a pretty special quarterback.
Yeah, countless players stepped up for the 49ers this season.
Right.
With the story of the season being all the injuries, we just talked about Brock Purdy, Mac Jones stepping in there.
Yeah.
When we came down to that wild card game, our 6th or 7th seed linebacker. But I want to know who or which Niner really impressed you or surprised you this season?
Well, let me see there. The guy, Jawan Jennings pops to my head always just because he's overlooked and he's such a good player and he'll never get the respect or the money to be a big-time superstar receiver. But damn, he's, good for your football team. I'm still in amazement of Trent Williams at this point of his career to be that good. I think I look at that and just go, wow, like, holy crap. I'm excited, I think, for my Big D tackle from Texas, Alfred Collins, right? I think he's got potential to be a game-changing player in that part of the field inside. Not only be able to disrupt and pass rush, but also be able to just hold down the fort, take on double teams, and stop the run game. I think those are some of the ones that that jump out to me, I guess you'd say, yeah.
And Kyle Shanahan better than many. So many called this season one of the best seasons he's coached, and he finished as a finalist for Coach of the Year this season. I want to know what makes Kyle Shanahan such a key asset to the San Francisco 49ers team.
Well, Kyle's without question one of the 2 or 3 best head coaches in football. I mean, you watch Monday Night Football a few weeks ago, Troy Aikman goes, hey, if I'm starting an organization, I'm hiring Kyle Shanahan to be my head coach. He is so respected in the NFL. I think more respected in the NFL than actually the public respects him, because the public is all about, well, he can't win the Super Bowl. And it's like, okay, gosh, you only had to deal with the second greatest dynasty maybe we've ever seen with like one of the greatest players and clutch players we've ever seen in Patrick Mahomes, right? But what makes him great is his passion for the sport. He lives it all day long. His ability to know the defensive side of the ball, right? I always tell people that to me, when I was in Tampa Bay and Kyle was working there with the Buccaneers as well, he was a young offensive coach. He would sit in the back of the defensive meeting rooms at the end of the day and learn the defense. So he understands defenses and can be a defensive coordinator. That's how good he is there. So I think between that, and then he's got the creativity and passion to do things that most coaches wouldn't take the chance to do on the offensive side of the ball. And then there's also just some good old rooted, hey, we're tougher than you, we're going to run. So he's got it all. I mean, I know I'm a little biased, but if he was really bad, I wouldn't sit here and say all those good things about him. I'm just going to tell you that much. I keep it real with just about anybody.
A friend that keeps it real. And I think that's what makes a real friend.
Well, I think that's why we are friends. I do think that. We talk ball. I think he knows I'm not always going to say exactly what he wants to hear. And, yeah, we have that in common. Our passion for the game, I think, is what gives us a great friendship.
Absolutely. Now, Kyle's worked with a rotation of defensive coordinators over the years for good reason, as many have gone on to become head coaches. But next up at DC for 49ers is Raheem Morris. What can you tell me about how he fits in with San Francisco and how he works so well with Kyle?
Well, I mean, it's a match made in heaven. Raheem, of course, was also in Tampa with us on that staff, along with being with Kyle in Atlanta and Washington when his dad was the head coach there of the Commanders. So there's familiarity there. Raheem is one of the best defensive minds in the sport. He's going to be great energy to that side of the ball, just like Saleh did. But the other aspect I love of it, right, I love about this, is most of the 49ers defenses under Shanahan have been rooted in the Seattle scheme, right? Raheem Morris does some of that, but it's more diverse than that. And I think that's going to be a great advantage for the 49ers football team. We know the defense has talent, right? And it's gotten to the Super Bowls and all of that. I think Raheem could get in those positions and create some defenses and call some plays on that side of the ball that might get you a big turnover late in the game to win the Super Bowl or something like that. And that's where I'm excited for Raheem Morris.
I'm sure the faithful are excited to see some of those wrinkles that he could bring over to the defense. Now, last April, you said that the 49ers absolutely crushed the draft. We got Mykel Williams, Alfred Collins, CJ West, and they definitely proved themselves during that rookie season. So what does John Lynch need to do this time around to crush another draft?
Yeah, I think, again, it's a lot of just like filling in a few little holes, adding to the roster in the future. I talked about like the defense. I don't think there's a ton there, right? As far as maybe, you want to start looking at linebackers just to kind of like, hey, Fred Warner is getting there, and that's such an important position on that defense. Certainly, another cover corner maybe. Right? And then, like I told you, I think you get into the interior O-line and just that playmaker on the offensive side of the ball, they'll have a formula. Those are two that, they are who they are for a reason. Lynch and Shanahan know talent. They know talent as far as how it fits into their scheme, and that's why they've been a mainstay here at the top of the NFL.
Something we got to watch during this combine as we work our way to the draft. But Chris,
I'm about to dive into draft stuff here. I'm like, oh gosh, here we go.
Studying bag. But
right.
Chris, again, thank you so much for stopping by.
Always.
Enjoy Super Bowl week.
Thank you so much. Go 49ers.